uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son, actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come back sports, talking way too much, world come back sports, talking way too much, world come back sports.
Your big salute to the hottest chat in the MF and game, A-Side official. No negotiations needed, period. You already know WCS back in the building. Salute to everyone that's on deck. Let's get right down to it. We have the fight card, the PBC fight card that went off yesterday. You know, set the weekend. It was some fire. I gotta give him, you know, it was some fire to that card. Real talk. But none like the thumbnail that you see in front of you, Benavidez versus David Morrell. Finally, we was able to get the fight. But what I do want to highlight is it was too much whining and bitching going on about the $80+. You know what I'm saying? That just goes to show you some of these fight cards are never going to be heavy over here in the U.S. And even if they were heavy, like the February 22nd card, I don't think U.S. fight fans would even care or give it its authentic confirmation of approval. I don't think so. I don't think they would appreciate it. But anyway, man, we had some fights on the card, bro. You know, you see in front of you, we had the main event, Benavidez versus Morrell. Co-main event, Figueroa versus Fulton. 2 rematch. And then we had Cruz and Angel Fierro. That was Independence Day, 4th of July, all throughout the year, God damn it. God damn. Also, we had some familiar names. Jesus Ramos in there against Jason Rosario. You know, I wanna talk about first the Cruz fight against Angel Fierro. Certain fighters get criticized for going in there and having a performance like that. Not so much that it was disinteresting, boring, you know what I'm saying, that people was falling asleep. No. It was action-packed. It was action-packed. Bombs over Baghdad, Banzai, anything you want to call it. It was a tactical mission. Explosions only. No defense included in this package. No defense required. Just straight up offense and punches and bunches and repeat. We already knew that Cruz was deemed a pit bull. We already know how he's coming. A man that was able to figure that out was Gervonta Davis and also Jose Valenzuela. They was able to figure him out. In order for you to figure a fighter out like Cruz, first of all, you can't be timid. You can't show any type of fear or reservation. You know what I'm saying? You can't show scarcity. You can't show any of that. You got to show courage. You have to be able to match his intimidation equally. And that's what I think Fierro did leading up to the fight and in the fight. When I tell you these cats, man, it was incredible. These two right here, the highlight reels is a photographer's dream when you're talking about getting some steal shots in this fight. Because what a lot of people don't know that don't shoot fights is that you're not going to get the money shot on every fight because you have to first predict, you know, the ebbs and flows and the energy changes and the rhythm. You got to be able to kind of, you know, look at the fighters to see actually when you think they're going to throw a shot or a combination. It's not as easy as you think, because you're not going to just go up there and hold down that shutter and just let it rip. You're going to have thousands upon thousands of picks. But in this fight right here, this was a photographer's dream. This was, I mean, when you talk about icing on the cake, the glaze, everything that you can wish for, as a photographer over there at ringside, this was the fight. God damn it. Isaac Cruz, I as much as I want to criticize his method to the madness and say that he's not going to have a long career, because I just got off Kamel Moulton, right? I said Kamel Moulton is not going to have a long career because he fights somewhat like Pitbull Cruz. He just has better defense, but he needs more defense. Pitbull, man, he don't even come close to even trying to apply defense. He doesn't even come close to even want to avoid a punch. I mean, the bombs he was dropping on Fierro, I was like, damn. I mean, you clearly from the opening seen that it was a difference in power between these two. Isaac Cruz, to me, has never been, in my opinion, tagged, is stamped as a knockout artist. But he can give you that pit bull pressure. God damn it, he is on your ass, as they call it. Relentless. Relentless. You can't say anything but that when Pitbull is in the ring. Fierro showed heart and determination also. He was proving that he wasn't scared. He was willing to stay in there. And even though his shots didn't have the it factor that Cruz had when he landed early on in the fight, he still was able to break him down in his own way. He was able to break Cruz down and hurt him. He had him hurt bad. He just didn't have the next gears to run Cruz over and leave him straddled out there in the street. He just didn't have it. He just didn't have the turnover, man. The cylinders was all, fired up and everything. He just didn't have that extra shot of nos. The speed off on Cruz when he had him hurt. But when I say this is one of the better fights of the year, and I know we just in the second month, of 2025, but this was a hell of a fight, yo. Outside of the main event, I would give this right here the fight of the night outside of the main event. These two fighters right here, I don't know how they're going to be in their next contest. But I commend them for the entertainment value. People, include myself, I've been very critical of, that certain organization. But all I'm doing is talking about boxing right now. I believe certain fighters, no matter where they go, they're going to give you the showcase that you're looking for. They're going to give you that showtime. And that's what I've seen with this dude, Isaac Cruz and Angel Fierro. Fierro complimented Isaac Cruz by matching his energy. But he just, until that hurt, it just seems like he never could just turn it over and just finish it if he ever got to that point. He gave us the opportunity. He gave us the window. Boy, did he give us the window. He hurt Cruz. He gave us the window now. That was on deck. But goddamn it, trying to decode Pitbull Cruz's goddamn pace, the way he aggressively close distance, not even worried about a goddamn jab. He might throw a jab every now and then. This man is all about putting punches in bunches and cracking you over your head with them. This was a photographer's dream, man. Look at those three. I just picked three because I just didn't want to put too many on the thumbnail. I mean, Cruz is an animal in there. He gives you all the intensity. This dude is a freaking animal. I know he just had a kid. I don't know what he had, a boy, girl. But goddamn it, Cruz's mentality. He has one of the most tenacious instincts in boxing. This dude, calm demeanor outside the ring, and the way he turned it on in the ring, man, is a gift. Is a freaking gift, man. I would say the same for Cruz as I say for Morrell. I don't know how long his career is gonna last. He's small, you know what I'm saying? He has short arms, and he understands that the risk he has to take to close distance to get on the inside is gonna take him through a bit of turbulence. Whoever that fighter is, he's gonna have to absorb 3 to 4 punches to get close to where he knows damn well he's gonna get one off. He may get 2 off, depending on who he is. He's going to knock on the door and ring the doorbell. He's gonna ring the bell, but it's gonna take him some punch combinations to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? And as young as he is, just like I reiterated for Moulton, in the ignorance of it all, I don't know how long his career is going to last into his 30s. You know, he's one of those guys, to me, I don't know how his body is wired. I don't know how his conversation is like behind closed doors when he's chill, just outside of this, because he doesn't say much. He's not on social media like that. But he fought a hell of a fight, man. I mean, he fought a hell of a fight. The only reason Cruz is not one of my favorite fighters, because he's nothing but a fighter. He's just a fighter, bro. He's a brawling fighter. Like I like multi-versatile fighters. He's just a fighter, a mean fighter. I mean, the aptitude for which he throws his punches is unbelievable. He doesn't have a lot. You know, he wasn't blessed with the tank closers. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't blessed for the El Chin checker closers. He's just missing a little bit of those short arms. But goddamn it, if he was, can you imagine if Isaac Cruz had that just a little bit? You just torque it up just a little bit in his DNA. Just give him a little bit more torque on his DNA with the left and the right. He's one of the most exciting fighters in boxing. Because he is relentless, man. He's not going to call off the hunt. This dude is a vicious fighter. But like I said, he's not one of my favorite fighters because he's just so one-dimensional. He's just going to come forward and get beat the fuck up and goddamn keep on throwing and land his shots over and over. And then, you know, he's gonna take the punishment to give punishment. You know what I'm saying? It's a quid pro quo with him. So with that, you know, I give, you give, you know, type of mentality. I don't know how durable he's gonna be. But goddamn it, I got mad respect. I have mad respect for him. You know what I'm saying? For entertainment value, goddamn it. Isaac Cruz is an entertaining fighter. If you was just sleeping through the UC, I bet they woke the hell up when Cruz come, you know, doing his ring walk. They just wasn't sure that Fierro, to the ones who was unfamiliar with Fierro tough too. Fierro's a tough mofo, man. I bet they perked up once the damn opening bell started, because it wasn't, I swear it wasn't 10 seconds before freaking Cruz landed the shot. And the crowd's like, oh, 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 oh. It sounded like an orchestra over there. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot different than what you heard in the crowd for Fulton and Figueroa. It's a hell of a fight, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Hell of a freaking fight, man. Hell of a freaking fight. But gonna stop Canelo. What's good, man? Say, what's up, WCS? Yeah, it was definitely a good night of boxing. It was, man. You know what I'm saying? I give PBC their credit. The fight card was a sleeper, you know what I'm saying, when it was posted. You know what I'm saying? It didn't give off the shock and awe value to me. I'm gonna be honest. It just didn't give it to me. Then I knew. I was kind of waiting. I paid attention to Jason Rosario and Ramos. But I was like, man, this fight's not going the distance. And I've seen Jason Rosario fight several times in person. So shout out to Banana though. I ain't got nothing against him. Shout out to Mr. Gumbo, aka Hot Grease in the building. What's good with it, Gumbo? How you feeling, bro? Mike is on deck. The building. Samar Warren on deck. Peace and blessings, beloved. Salute WCS certified. Stamp the like button and support the grind. No doubt about it. Appreciate you, man, for pulling up as always. Shout out to Christopher White in the building. You already know what it is, man. Salute to you. Pitbull actually got hurt at one point during the fight. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bolas, what's good? What's good? I see you. Arnold Brown on deck. What's good? So I just had to give them the check in the box off the rip. When it comes down to entertainment value of the night, I had to give them the credit for entertainment value, because that was a hell of a freaking fight which has the energy that you look for in a fight. That was not a boxing match. That was a fight. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes fights you don't want one fighter to have way more power than the other. You want it to be leveled out just like this. You want it to be balanced correctly. And this was balanced correctly. Neither fighter had the closer, but they had the pace to make something happen. Something that you can say, give you that, you know what I'm saying? Especially when Pitbull was landing these shots, I thought old boy was going to get hurt. I mean, I thought he was going to get hurt more times than he did, Fierro. But he stayed in there. When Pitbull was hurt, I automatically said to myself, I don't think Fierro has enough to close him out. But he was hurt. And Fierro tried his best. It wasn't for a lack of effort, but he tried his best to get off the ropes and close him out. He hurt him. And both fighters showed that they was durable and resilient. Both of them showed toughness. Both of them showed they was durable. You know what I'm saying? So I commend them for that. Real talk, I commend both of these fighters. They tough as hell in life. As men in life. The way they was going in there taking that punishment, shit. You can have some boxers, right? That goes in here and you say to yourself, they box, but they ain't really trying to get into it in the street. Yeah, these two right here, not the kind of cats you want to run up into happy hour at the bar, especially Pitbull. Pitbull is one of those guys, they look at that little short nigga and then the next time they waking up in the hospital, with an IV in their arm. You know what I'm saying? I mean, dude is relentless. Let's move on to the Stephen Fulton and Fierro. Yo, I'm going to be honest. I didn't know what to expect from this fight, bro. Real talk, I'm going to be honest. I didn't know what to expect from this fight because I was looking at Stephen Fulton's fights previously. I threw away the Nui fight because I've been over there. I know how tough that fight is. I thought he didn't put enough time in acclimating to the flight over there. Real talk. I've been back and forth over to Japan. So I threw that fight out the window for him looking, because that jet lag is oh my God, it's no joke flying over that water, going to Japan. Your body, some people's body, it takes them 2 to 3 weeks to get really acclimated to what was going on in the States. So I just threw that out. You know what I'm saying? I just said to myself, let me just kind of clean the slate a little bit. Give Steven, give him some credit last fight and, give my assessment to how I see him going in there against Brandon Figueroa. So his last fight, Castro, that he won a split decision. Fulton was down in round 5. We know that. But something about what Fulton said when he got up, he didn't look worried. He didn't look like he was, in a state of surrender. It just seems like, okay, I know what I did. I'm going to get back into it. And I said to myself, damn, You know what I'm saying? That's the Fulton I remember when he was fighting Angelo Leo, Brandon Figueroa the first time. You know, I mean, that's the guy I seen when he was fighting Daniel Ramon. You know, the Fulton that has somewhat made a rise in his career, the one that got unstoppable tatted on his chest. When he got knocked down against Castro, I said, I don't know. It's just something different about him, man. That I'm not saying that he's somehow shell shocked from, a Nui fight, because he was stopped in the 8th round. But I just think he had the wrong game plan, at the time and how he was fighting, that Castro ended up stopping him, because Castro was tough in that fight, 30-2. You know what I'm saying? Castro was tough. But when he got up and he fought on and he was able to win that split decision, I thought it was fair. But that dog in Fulton has always been there. Seriously. But it's just something heading into this freaking Figueroa fight that I didn't get the first time that they fought. Like, this is a rematch. I remember Figueroa complaining post-fight that he didn't think he lost. He thought he won the fight and everything. It was a tough fight. But something about Fulton, to me, it just seems like this is going to be a different fight. I don't know. It just seems like how somebody turned the corner on their courage, the meter of their courage. I don't know what it was. It just seems like Figueroa was there, but he didn't give me, he didn't pinch me. Like, I think this is going to be a super tough fight for Fulton. I don't know, man. It was something strange. I was thinking about Barrios, marrying his sister. I was just thinking about some weird shit with Figueroa. I met the guy in person several times. And to me, it just seems like he was confident that he was getting the Stephen Fulton that when he fought the first time. I think Figueroa thought with adversity that Fulton had went through already, this was the perfect time for a rematch. He underestimated. I think he really underestimated. He thought he was getting a broken, fragmented Fulton, a declining Fulton. But hell, Fulton looked sharp in that fight. Fuck what the fans was talking about. They can boo all they freaking want. But Fulton looked sharp in that fight, man. That's Bosey's fighter, bro. The same one who has Ennis, same one who had Andy Cruz. This goes to show you every fighter ain't the same. Regardless, you got the same trainer. I think he did a magnificent job in fighting on the inside. I guess that's sort of where Figueroa wanted to take it, since it was like that the first fight. And it didn't work out well for him. Figueroa seemed lost as to how well Stephen Fulton was giving him the work on the inside. It was even better than Caleb Plant and McCumbee, because Figueroa can actually box on the inside. But Fulton showed that he was much more smarter. You know what I'm saying? He used his boxing IQ. And he was really firing off some shots that I don't think Figueroa was expecting when he was in like that. Like, he fought a very smart fight. I truly believe that Figueroa thought he was going to get the Fulton that was all over the canvas against a Nui. I think he was going to get the Fulton that was in there, on the canvas against Castro. I think his team looked at that and said, he's not the same fighter from the Monster Nui fight. So for us, we're good. We haven't faced that experience, so we good. I mean, I'm just assuming, y'all. Seriously, I'm just assuming if that might have been the case. Because I felt that Fulton fought a damn entertaining, technically, at a high level. Sure showed that he was using everything that was taught. Very solid game plan, I ain't gonna lie. Very solid game plan that him and Bosey had. But I just thought he was on his game, bro. based off what we seen, how people was criticizing him, you know what I'm saying? They was really running interference and giving Fulton a chance to win this fight against Figueroa. Figueroa, to me, for somebody who stepped in there the first time and somewhat engaged in the same type of engaged in the same type of close quarters fighting on the inside, he looked a little off. He just looked like he was a dance partner, bro. And freaking Fulton was really, dictating, and he understood what he was at in the fight, what he needed to do against this guy. He really looked like through the adversity, Fulton is the one who has made a bit more advancement in his career. Even though he went through adversity, it just seems like he's the one who has learned since the last time he fought Figueroa. To me, he did. You know what I'm saying? He had 3 fights in between. If you look at Figueroa had 3 fights in between. He fought Carlos Castro, Mark Masayo, and Jesse Magnolino. Okay? So 2 of those fights were stoppages. And he went the distance to a UD with Mark Masayo. The Carlos Castro fight was the next year in 2022, where he stopped him in round 6. Stephen Fulton went to a split decision. You know what I'm saying? Was that it? Was that the determining factor? You tell me. Figueroa fought him in 22, and Fulton fought him in 24. Figueroa was able to stop him in round 6, but Fulton went to a split decision. Also, Figueroa fought Carlos Castro after a loss to Luis Neri. Was that something that the momentum that they was taking into that? Do you think the Figueroa was taking that momentum into that with Carlos Castro? I think they were, man. I think they was looking at Luis Neri losing a split decision. Luis Neri winning a split decision over Carlos Castro, and then Brandon Figueroa stopped him in 6 rounds. I really think that he's saying, I stopped him in 6. Figueroa went to a split decision. Fulton went for a split decision. I think he had that stamped in his brain, the front side of his brain, and saying, you know what, doing fight camp, hey man, it's no way. I did it better. My performance value is higher. I stopped this man in 6 rounds. I'm not worried about anything from Fulton. He goes in there and get outboxed by Fulton. A guy who won a split decision in a tough fight with Carlos Castro. It was a lot of little points of references that Figueroa can take into that fight. How he beat Carlos Castro. He was never knocked down in that fight. It's a point that he can take as positives that charged him up to go in there and feel that he'd have an easy go with Fulton. Because if you look at the 3 fights in between from when they fought, Figueroa had definitely the better run. This was so their 3 fights leading up to when they fought their rematch was so misleading in a lot of ways. Because like I said, Figueroa had the better run. He wasn't on the canvas. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't, at a point where he was fighting through adversity. A weaker fighter would have been saying to themselves that they was Fulton. Dog, I went over here, Anui blazed me, and then Carlos Castro put me on the canvas, and then I had to fight to a close decision. Well, you have Figueroa who said, I stopped the man. Even though he was coming off a loss to Neary, he said, I stopped him in the 6th round. Fulton had a tough fight. He barely even squeaked out a win. His team was pretty confident. His team, Figueroa's team, was confident. Hey, we good. We straight. This is one of those moments, man, that's I don't know, man. It was a very mysterious, strange type of gauging. If you're anybody, you're a boxing fan, you look at the 3 fights in between to their rematch. If I was a human being, I'm saying to myself the exact same thing from Figueroa. I got the momentum. I feel I got the juice. I do. I feel like I got the juice heading in here. He showed decline. If that wasn't the biggest, I wouldn't say, I mean, it was deceptive, bro. If that was one of the biggest deceptions that you've seen in a long time, man, come on. That was very deceiving when it comes to Fulton. For him to get treated the way he got treated and, face adversity with oh my God. To any fighter that's stepping in there to fight Fulton and saying, we good. We good. We're going to take full advantage. We think he's struggling right now. We think he's this, that, and the other. And it didn't happen. Hey, look at the score. 111, 116, 112, 116, 112. What do you think that was going on in Figueroa's mind when that fight continued? They in the 6th or 7th round, and he's not able to knock Fulton down. I think Figueroa thought he was gonna knock him down because look, he stopped Castro, man. Come on. Somehow, some way, mentally, I believe that, I don't know, man. I don't want to give him the OC, overconfident. I don't want to, but it was some levels psychologically for me that Figueroa was a little bit overconfident about the guy he was about to face last night. All because he had a lot of check marks that was floating around that had substantial receipts as to why he feel the way he do. Substantial, solid receipts. And it didn't turn out that way. Shout out to Cool Boy Steph. God dang, 2 division champion. If that ain't one of the weirdest, most deceptive freaking lead ups to a fight based off the performance value of a fighter named Stephen Fulton out of Philly, and for him to dare walk up in there wearing some old school 80s, 90s cut off freaking trunks and also some Timbs, some replicas, some boxing shoes, the replica Tim, man, it tells me that Stephen Fulton was on some different type of time, shouty. Fulton was on some different type of time, shouty. I ain't never seen the outfit look like that. Now Steven Nelson has wore some pretty different. He's the you know what I'm saying, the creator, the creative designer. But that outfit that Fulton had on, I've seen some wild ones. But with the Timbs, I think that's the first time I ever seen some boxing shoes that look like some Timbs. It seemed like Fulton was going to show people like the way they used to dress when you, I mean, in some place you go, you wear Timbs to the club. It's for one reason only. The stumper. You know what I'm saying? He's up here dressed like he's on the block. All he needed was throw on a nice little shirt. He could have kept his trunks on and the Timbs. He's straight. He's straight, yo. Figueroa probably looking at Fulton like, yeah, I got him. I don't know what that outfit's about, but buddy. They thought they was real Timbs. Oh, those shoes, look, coach. Those shoes are too goddamn heavy. I'm good. We about to knock him out. Them Timbs are too heavy. How dare him take me for granted? He wearing some Timberlands? A lot of weirdness heading into Black History Month. A lot of weirdness that went on with this main event. They was booing. But I was like, do y'all not see what we see? Like, why are y'all booing? Somebody's getting a lesson. Talk to them. Figueroa is getting a lesson. He's in-house detention right now. He thought he was getting a lesser version of the fighter that he fought originally. And also his contributing to that factor of his confidence was looking at how Fulton has looked over the span of the 3 fights since they fought. The adversity that he had to face and everything that goes along. I mean, to me, humanistically gauging that, like, I'm saying to myself the same thing. I'm on the same sheet. I say, man, I feel good, bro. Come on now. I stopped Carlos, man. Come on, bro. Stop it. I feel good, coach. He can't mess with me, man. He ain't knocking nobody out. He ain't knocking me out. He ain't doing none of that, man. He got here getting split decisions and shit like that, losing. I haven't lost since we fought. I mean, hey, man. Hey, man. Boy. I think that Japanese taking that trip to Japan might have fucked freaking Figueroa up. You know what I'm saying? I think it fucked him up, y'all. I think it fucked him up. Something was going on with Figueroa. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? He got a hold of some of that Infamil. Mario Barrios, you know, was he drinking baby milk before the freaking fight? Did somebody switch his shit up or something? Was he feeling a little bit too relaxed on fight week? Was his endorphins kicked in? You know what I'm saying? Was he putting melatonin tablets in his water? I'm just trying to find out what happened, because it was. I know I'm one of the only ones who's thinking like this, but my shit wander off like that sometimes. You know, just stare, you know, look at people and you say, for somebody who's walking here with a fighter that he's already fought, something seems off. Something seems off, but I don't want to keep on bumbling about that. Something seemed a bit off. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Something seemed a bit off. Let's read a quick snippet, okay? A quick snippet. Let's read a quick snippet of what Boxing Scene had to say about Fulton. Okay? It says, Fulton connected on the main objective, claiming a unanimous decision and a featherweight belt by scores of 116, 112, 117, 11. In the co-main event, supporting David Benavidez, David Morrell as Jr., headliner at T-Mobile Arena. To be fair, it was Figueroa, not Fulton, who mostly dragged Saturday's fight into the muck. It's a shame, too, because their first showdown at junior featherweight back in November 2021 was an unqualified banger. They combined for nearly 2,000 punches, many of them clean and powerful, and Fulton snuck away with the majority decision. There was no sneaking on Saturday. Just something that vaguely resembled octopus sumo wrestling. Figueroa spent the majority of the fight leaning forward, closing the distance, draping a long arm over Fulton or pinning an elbow to his chest. Was the idea to come up with a different strategy than the one he employed in the defeat to Fulton in their first fight? If it was, it only gave away Figueroa's natural strength advantage and smothered anything productive he might have gotten off to produce a different result. Do y'all agree with that? Seriously, do y'all agree with what they said? Because I thought it was a very solid, you know what I'm saying, summation. I do. I think it was very solid. I think they hit it on the nail. I just believe that somehow, some way, man, the coach is to blame. Like I said, it was very weird. I wouldn't say ominous, but it was very different type of aura. That was on the nefarious side for Figueroa, because it's almost like he was being told some wrong information. Like, this professional fighter, of course, you've been a champion already. This is not just a run-of-the-mill average Joe. And Figueroa was basically told the wrong game plan. And I look at it like, was it really wrong game plan based off what I seen with Fulton? Was it really the wrong game plan to try to bully him on the inside? I think it kind of was, but once again, I just truly believe they thought that Fulton's declivity that he's shown in a couple of fights with Inouye and Castro, that it was one of the perfect times to finish him. It seemed like their barometer of vulnerability was extremely high, so much to the fact that some of the gases may have affected them during fight camp. I'm serious. It was boiling over, y'all. It was freaking boiling over. They had the wrong game plan to fight Fulton. Shout out to Bozy. Yeah, I criticized the heck out of Ennis, but see, every fighter, you know what I'm saying, lesson learned. Do not fight the same, even if they have the same trainer. Because on the inside, and based off their first performance, man, Fulton did the job. He brokered that fight. He adjudicated any type of doubt in that fight right there. No if, no ands, no if ands, no. He did what he's supposed to do in that fight. Man, shout out to him. He's a 2-division champion. He said he was going to be 2-division champion, and goddamn it, he wasn't lying. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't lying, y'all. That man was not lying. I'm happy for the brother. I'm happy for him. Continue to do your thing, brother. His record improves to 23-1, 8 knockouts. Fulton is a prime example of a fighter that doesn't have a lot of knockouts, but can seriously box his ass off. Seriously box his ass off. February 1st, 2025, Fulton becomes the WBC World Featherweight Champion. Yes, you remember he was a unified champion at 122 super bantamweight. Now, him being at 126, he has extracted the WBC world title from Brandon Figueroa. Now, do you think we should see a trilogy between these two, being that they fought at 122 and now at 126? Do you want to see a trilogy? You can just put it in the chat. It's nothing to be overly, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to lose too much sleep over it. Let's switch it over to the main event. This was a head banger. You know what I'm saying? This was a fight majority of the people was talking about, because in some way, shape, or form, you know, when Rick James said cocaine is a hell of a drug, I think stupidity is too. I think a lot of people that's in the boxing game, especially over here in the US, they tend to just jump on and off like it's the wild, wild west. You know how they used to have them freaking passengers hanging off the train? You know what I'm saying? The motherfuckers just hop on the train, stowaways, going to the next station, freeloading and shit. I think we have a lot of bandwagon riders, hitchhikers. I tried my best to explain to them that David Morrell, though he had power and though he was a boxer who was a 2-time Reggie Belt holder, he did not have the boxing IQ. He did not have the experience yet to clearly, cleanly, definitively defeat David Benavidez. I wasn't saying the dude couldn't box. He had 11 pro wins, and you absolutely seen it play out in the ring. You seen it play out in the ring, bro. This what, people want to talk about. They're going to be talking about how bruised up they. Well, he going to look bruised up if you squared up in front of an opponent that has decent power like Morrell. You're going to look bruised up. But isn't that the warrior spirit that they give praise to? Don't they clap it up for that? Oh, man, Benavidez, he was standing. That's what he shows you. He just didn't come out and show you this type of style. He's been showing you that style for a long time. He's that dude. Benavidez, his measure is never in the question when it comes to courage, when it comes to him committing, when him going in there showing the warrior spirit. It's no question whatsoever when it comes to Benavidez that he's a chump, that he don't have any heart. No one would say that. He went in there for a fighter who they were saying was going to knock him out. He went in there and did what David does. David does what David did. He still went in there and squared up in front of Morrell, but when he was in front of him, he did some very educational punch combination sets, IQ, delivery. He performed. The way he was shifting off to his right just a little bit and then shooting the left uppercut, beautiful. Did y'all see how he was just playing around with Morrell? I said IQ. 11 pro fights, you're not doing this, bro. You saw how he pretty much pulled down David Morrell's left glove just so he can throw the right hook. Did you see how he punched David Morrell's right glove to open up for him to land a left uppercut? That wasn't in the same angle that he took when he stepped off to the right and then shot the uppercut. Those uppercuts had David Morrell looking like a Cuban bobblehead. On sale now. 5 for $3. You can get your bobblehead today. David Morrell had his moments. He had his moments. He had to pick and choose per the game plan on when he wanted to press the gas. In the process of him trying to figure out what miles per hour that he was going to, what's his speed was going to be, Benavidez was punishing the body. That's what makes him a dangerous fighter, is how he switches up his attack. The speed to it. The punch placement. Very, very dangerous fighter, man. You cannot just pick and choose one moment of the fight and say, well, WCS, he was, you know what I'm saying? You know where I'm going with this. Oh, you want to have the Haney effect, huh? You want to use the Haney effect. You're going to disregard the entire fight, and you're just going to pick one round as to when adversity struck. David Morrell's fans was waiting on that moment to happen, but it happened in the 11th. Why so long? You couldn't put a expedited stamp on there? You didn't have enough money in your pocket? Why you waited so long, bro? Levels, experience, championship showcases. You wasn't just in there with another fighter there, Morrell. You know that. Morrell was very nice after the fight. He know he got taken to school. Morrell understands he got taken to school. Look, he don't have any gripe or complaints about being the student that night. He tried that counter straight right, or, you know what I'm saying, I would say the brick hand off the ropes, catching, using David Benavidez momentum against him. That can things to a fighter. And Benavidez found out. You know what I'm saying? He almost bent the knee to Morrell. That's boxing. He's coming in the inside, And Morrell, he peaked, and his timing was there. Bang, pegged him, pinged him out. Knees start to buckle, but you're dealing with Benavidez. You're dealing with the monster. What he do? He fought through it. Nobody's gonna tell me that he wasn't buzzed while he was fighting up out of that funk. That fall was thick and heavy, goddammit. Benavidez was fighting off the ropes. He was fighting off adrenaline. He said, I'll work my way through this. He was hurt. Morrell just didn't have enough experience on how to take full advantage on that. He probably shocked himself when he caught him. But it was a clean shot, goddammit. That was a beautiful counter. That just goes to show you how dangerous boxing is. That right there, what David Morrell did was absolutely beautiful. How he caught a fighter coming in when he was on the ropes, high guard. And when he sent that, man, beautiful work. Beautiful work. Dangerous, bro. You're talking about a fighter who's clearly losing the matchup. Benavidez showed too many time zones where he was just clicking away at Morrell's chances of winning the freaking fight. But Morrell in the 11th round, he did better than what I thought. I have to give him that salute. You did better than what I thought you were going to do. He did. But what I was most impressed with was David Benavidez, how he was going to the body. He was punching around the guard. Y'all need to show that. Y'all need to talk and brag about that instead of talking about how he was knocked down in the 11th. When you do stuff like that, it just makes you seem like you below a casual fan. Now you want to bring the whole purse out. You want to start acting a little bit bitchy because you don't want to be a man and accept that was a tough fight, especially for Morrell. But when he knocked him down, he got the count, and then he went and spazzed out. He went and spazzed out, dog. Benavidez went and spazzed on his ass, dog. Dude. He went and spazzed on Morrell, bro. He said, I'm going to get this motherfucker back. And then the fight fans going to say, well, it wouldn't have been that. It would have been a different result if the referee wouldn't have effed up and did what he did. Well, guess what? Sometimes when it comes to punching after the bell, it's the fighter who has to get the get back. Sometimes they're the ones who, the responder sometimes get the penalty. Even though they are the recipient and the other fighter got one in on you, and the referee kind of sort of, his alert went up, and then Morrell hit clearly after the bell. And it seemed intentional. So the referee took a freaking point. I hear these people on here welding with tears. I'm like, stop all the fake anxiety and emotions, bro. The man clearly hit way after the bell to the point where it seemed intentional. If they was in the middle of an exchange and the bell rung and they both landed, referee would have called it off and said, okay, learn, break, listen to the bell, listen for the bell. But clearly this wasn't one of those cases. Don't be mad at how the acquisition played out. You would get over it. That wasn't the determining factor of why they had Morrell winning damn near 8-4. That wasn't it. There was some moments in there that I was admiring Morrell's work. And there was some moments in there which pretty much blended in with what I was saying about his lack of experience. The way he was throwing his punch combinations early. All they doing was bouncing off Benavidez's high guard and his forearms. I mean, people used to always brag about how Canelo punched people in the arms. I mean, Morrell was punching Benavidez in the arms because, he just didn't know how to switch it up. Benavidez is coming in with a high guard, hook to the body. Make him move that guard. Make him have an adjustment. You got enough power to do that. Stick him. What Kevin Ford say? Penitentiary. Stick him to the body. He's coming in there with his guard that high. No jab. And you're just letting your punches go, and they're just reflecting off his elbows and forearms. Experience, y'all. Boxing IQ. He learned something from this fight. I commend him for throwing punches, but why are you throwing kind of looping punches when David is absolutely lining you up? And then if you knew how to throw straight punches, why didn't Morrell be part of the fight? Because in the latter half of the fight, he did throw some nice straight linear punches that pop Benavidez's head back. He did look clean in some of those exchanges, but early on the fight, he didn't seem like he was comfortable because Benavidez pressure and his punch plate, man, on how he was hooking to the body. He had them shovels out early, like Benavidez Construction Company was on deck. He was trying to goddamn renovate David Morrell's rib cage. And the fact that Benavidez was able to easily and get a reaction out of Morrell. I mean, one thing I can say that I didn't have, really, I wasn't on board with is how much heart Morrell got heart, man. Morrell got heart. I ain't gonna lie. Morrell got heart. He didn't quit. No bitch in Morrell. Because he was getting touched up. He was getting rearranged in there. And people look at Benavidez's face and they look at Morrell's face. They say, oh, well, Benavidez had his, he was wearing the fight. Well, so did Morrell. But you also have to understand that you have a fighter that loved the headshots. Morrell loved headshots. That's another area of his experience. If you have power, work on going to the body. Benavidez, when he throw those body shots, man, that shit is like a jab. Like he throws them so easy. He executes them shots to the body so easy, bro. His combinations is so smooth. I mean, so smooth. That uppercut, depending on where he's throwing it. It doesn't matter from which, left or right. The way he delivers those uppercuts, man, it's almost like he has the pin code to freaking David Morrell's guard. Clean. No debate. Clean. Angles that David Benavidez was taking on David Morrell. Clean, yo. Absolutely clean. I'm not gonna lie to you. This uppercut right here, it was one of many in the family. One of many. And it's look, the setup for that uppercut, the way he delivered it, the entry. I mean, we're talking about biometrics, obviously. You know what I'm saying? He has the access code. He was popping Morrell. I tried to find those pictures. I guess they go agree on what pictures that they want to approve to go out there to the GP. Because he had him looking like a Cuban bobblehead on sale 5 for $3. David Morrell's head was popping back like it was on a spring. And that was all because of the timing, the boxing intelligence of Benavidez, how fluent he was. Like, his ease to set those shots up, standing that close to a fighter that has respectable power like Morrell. Morrell has respectable power, bro. He has respectable power. And for Benavidez to stand right there and soften him up the way he did. Yeah, this man is sore today. For real. I'm telling you, man, the nanny was on deck today. Morrell was sitting up in there. He had breakfast in bed. He had lunch in bed. He had brunch in bed. Hey, if he was out getting some sunshine, he had that motherfucking rib cage wrapped. He had mobile ice packs on deck. Shit, man. Them dudes was on some whole nother level. Shout out to Conquest in the building, big dog. Thanks for the $2 super chat on deck. It's much appreciated. I think Pitbull should fight Leo. That would be a great fight. What you think? Leo. I'm kind of clueless right now. Who's Leo? Because, I'm up here. Let me just try the process. Who are you talking about, Chris? I can't say Leo Santa Cruz, even though he's on deck. I think he's too old for one. I think he'll knock Leo out. No. I know it just crossed my mind. It just crossed my mind. Angelo Leo or you talking about Angelo Leo? Or you have to tell me who you're talking about. Yeah, he did. He did, absolutely. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bozy did a good job in the corner too. Yeah. I have to say, man, it's a lesson learned. I don't know if the boxing fans want to learn though. I have my criticism for how Jaron Ennis go about his fight plan, but Jaron Ennis is no Stephen Fulton. And Stephen Fulton is no Jaron Ennis. I'm just saying, the way he fought, Figueroa, he did his thing. Oh, man. What? Scooter versus Nick Ball. What? Banger. Fireworks. Ammunition on deck. Come on, we already know how Nick Ball get down. We already know that fight's going to be on the inside. It's going to be bombs all night long. That's a good matchup. That's a good matchup right there. That, the fire department needs to be close by. Yeah. Shout out to MD in the building. PBC needed some of that got caffeine. They needed one of those B12 shots to get things a little bit. The pulse was elevated last night. I don't know what's gonna happen when next week is over. I don't know what's next. I know we got Tank over there in March. I don't know what's next, but 3 fights on the card really, really rocked heavy. Now, I'm not saying that Jason Rosario and Jesus Ramos, was bad. That was a good fight. But to me, I just felt like out of the top 3 fights I'm speaking on, I already knew that either Jason Rosario was going to falter. I seen him fight Lubin in person. I mean, I just done seen him, bro. He might be. I seen him percolate against freaking Jermell Charlo. I just didn't think he would be able to go in there and get it done. Yeah, the Tims was raw, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like he was on some other fashionista type, culture shit. They was mad Figueroa was getting beat up. They were. You know what I'm saying, BG? They was mad. They wanted to go in there and beat Fulton up, man. They was at the T-Mobile also. You know what I'm saying? Figueroa, he had all his, Mexican fans out there. But Fulton was up there. They say, how dare he show up and dress like a hoodlum, like he's in Philly. How dare he dress Philly? Man, Fulton sent a message, bro. That's the first time I've ever seen a fighter come in there with some freaking custom Timbs on. The first time ever, bro. Let me see how many other fighters gonna try that shit. Shout out to the lit reactions and commentary shows. Salute to you, Jay. How you feeling, bro? Hey, man. You don't have to, man. We look, we all get it wrong every now and then, bro. We do. We get it wrong. We just have to be fair and take accountability when you get wrong. That's all. That's all. If you was talking about the knockout, then that's different. If you was saying that Morrell was gonna knock out Benavidez, now that's a little bit different. A lot of crow to eat right there. Buffet style. Buffet style, man. BG say no trilogy needed. I agree. Because he's won 2 out of the 3 already. No draws. You know what I'm saying? It was no fights that went to a draw. So Morrell waited until he needed a KO to make any type of adjustment. Yeah, good point, man. Good point, man. He waited too long. He had to go all or nothing. All the distress signals was up. SOS, all that. Bat signal. Everything was in the air. KO. You need a KO. Ronnie Shields over there telling him, my chest is hurting. You need a KO. I can't yell at you no more. Man, he was telling him, hey, man. Damn. When you knocked him down, hey, shit. You should have went over there, but hey, we got to give Benavidez his credit. Every time Morrell even thought he was about to take over the fight, Benavidez shut it down. When you want to talk about getting, spazzing out on the fighter for doing something he's supposed to do, that's Benavidez. He did not allow Morrell to even think that this is going to be your shining moment, goddammit. No. When he knocked him down, it wasn't even like, let's just put the knockdown over to where he hurt him at. Now, that's different. If you would have been over to mesh that shit together and Morrell landed that right hand off that, knocked him down, that right there would have been like, oh, shit. He has some, okay, this is going to get interesting. But, man, he was in 11th round, needing a knockdown, a knockout, and he knocked the man down. But Benavidez just didn't show that he was removed too much from his conscience. He seemed like he was still coherent, and he was ready to go. I think Morrell was saying to himself, God damn, what do I need to do, coach? I mean, is there any way the next time, 12th round, you got them knuckles, them brass knuckles we was talking about? Is there any way you can slide them in? Shit. Shout out to the OG Mr. Golden. Salute. What's good, bro? Oh, Leo Santa Cruz? No. I don't think Leo Santa Cruz, that Chris, I don't think he'll be able to handle pressure. Leo Santa Cruz is in the audience chilling, bro. Look, he even had a beard. Leo is doing some business work or something. I don't think he was looking at that. He saw Cruz fight and said, baby, do you think I should fight? And his wife just grabbed his hand, held him very tightly. I understand. I understand that you might be a little loopy. You might have little signs of pugilistic kick it in here and there, stuff like that. But hell no. Okay? Hell no, you ain't getting in there with that dude. I'm not trying to goddamn change your diapers. Hell no. His wife said, you ever ask me that, I'm filed for separation. You better not ever ask me to go in there and fight a fighter like that. You think I want to smell you shitting on yourself? Hey, Chris. Hey, she was like, if you ever do that, that's selfish of you to even think that. We up here living a family life. You think I want to smell you shitting? We out in public eating at a nice restaurant, and you up here, babe, you gotta hurry up. I gotta go. And you shit on yourself in public? No. Pitbull don't like boxers. That would be a great fight. Man, bro. I like Leo Santa Cruz, man. I like Leo Santa Cruz as a fighter, man. But we also know that pressure will be everything, every part of the nightmare that Leo Santa Cruz ever would have expected from a dog attack. You know well as I do, bro, he don't want that. You might as well just unlock the cages to one of the worst kennels in the county, right? And ask Leo Santa Cruz to go in there and put them back in one by one with no freaking no pole or nothing. Hey, just go in here. I want to see if you can put all 15 dogs back in the cage. Now, these are some wild ones. Now, if you can get every dog in here, you still have both your left and right hand, then we'll sign you up for the fight with Pitbull Cruz. Until then, don't you ever mention that to your wife again. Boy, you tripping. She gonna say, boy, you tripping. She gonna get on the phone. Maria, you know that Leo's asked me, did I want to see him fight Isaac Cruz, the crazy Pitbull guy. Boo said Scooter was looking like a Def Jam fight for New York character. For real, man. He did take it back to Def Jam, didn't he? He took it back to them years that I love, man. Them old school, man. They looked like they was the jeans that you used to cut and the strings be hanging down. Whoever designed that and made that outfit, on point, man. On point. It took us back to the 80s and 90s, no doubt. No doubt about it, man. Leo 130, Pitbull at 140 anyway. I'm just saying in general. Let's just say Isaac, you know, let's just say he was at 135. I think it'll still be an issue with Leo Santa Cruz. Because one thing I know for sure, to the chat, I was there in San Antonio when Pitbull went up there and mauled the shit out of Diego Magnolino. And this was still during the pandemic now. They had limited seating. They had the separation in that shit. Yeah. But check this out. The main event was Tank Davis and Leo Santa Cruz. That was the day that Leo Santa Cruz soul almost left his body when Tank hit him with that freaking right uppercut. I heard that body hit the ground. Dear Lord, we come to you as humble as we know. This memorial service didn't have to happen, Father God, but it did. See, Isaac Cruz has already been in the same building of Leo Santa Cruz on the same card. He understands what Leo Santa Cruz soul has been. It would be a bad day, brother. It would be extremely bad for Leo Santa Cruz. Seriously, it would be bad. Not that youngin coming in there fighting a boxer. Now take a boxer and lower the age a little bit for that. That dude has a mean streak in him. I wouldn't want to see Leo Santa Cruz's father going through what Tank put him through, yo. Tank knocked out Leo Santa Cruz in front of his father. His body dropped right there in front of his father, bro. Because father had been going through some health problems. His father, I think, was in a wheelchair, ringside, right in the corner. You know how you catch your flight and they ask you for your ticket and they scan it on that red light. That's exactly what Tank's goddamn uppercut did to Leo Santa Cruz. Scan that ticket, and goddamn that plane took the fuck off. I think Morrell's about to grow exponentially after this fight. You know what? I can't say you're wrong because I don't know what the plans are for Morrell, but I'd definitely like to see him fight Edgar Berlanga, even though they're in two different weight classes right now. I would say, you know, he would give him the business. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see Caleb Plant fight David Morrell. He needs another name that's up there now. Benavidez keep on fighting these names, and he's beating them. Now it's time for somebody else. Now Benavidez goes and he takes the elevator up to, you know, the winner of Beterbiev and Bivol. He's going to higher places. Now it's up to Morrell, just like all these other cats. You know, they fight Canelo. They feel that, hey, I came in second. That ain't bad, is it? Well, sir, it's only two fighters in the ring, sir. Are we supposed to get all excited? I mean, come on, man. Berlanga, you know, getting happy. He lost to Canelo. Well, shit, Morrell lost to Benavidez. Go fight some other common opponents or something. I mean, go fight anybody that's up there at 175 that's you deem a lower rank than Benavidez or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Now it's time for them to come up there and fight. You know, Caleb Plant been in there with him. Andrade been in there. I mean, what about Andrade and Morrell? He still needs to build his resume, y'all. In my opinion, he still needs to build his resume. He took an L. He took an L, bro. You can't just do like Edgar Berlanga come in second and then throw a parade in the street like he won a title. Hold on for a second, y'all. Man, Quincy just ran a 45 in the 400. God dang, that teenager fast. Whoo. My fault, y'all. I follow track and field, too. This dude just ran a 45, 400. God dang. A 45-6. Anyway, back to boxing. Jesus Christ, man. Shout out to Christopher, man. With the $5 super chat on deck. One love to you. Much appreciated. You already know. Thanks for the donation, man. Yeah, Pitbull would stop Leo, man. He would do more than stop Leo. He would do more than stop Leo. It's a whole lot of damn shit he's going to have to face post-fight. Divorce, alimony, you know what I'm saying? Caregiver expenses. There's a whole lot of shit he going to goddamn hospice care. Fuck around with Pitbull all because Chris up here talking about, hey, you know what? I like to see him fight Leo. Yeah. If Leo ever wanted to get that signature fight for retirement, that would be it. Yeah. Leo, you might want to think about that. Go up there and fight that killer. The one you was in the audience looking at. And every time he landed shots, your wife was over there. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Poppy, did you see that, Poppy? God damn, don't you ever in your life come home and tell me that you want to face Pitbull Cruz. I will slap the taco sauce out your mouth. Up here talking that bullshit. No way. Let me see. It was something else that I had over here. My bad. Hold on for a second. Once again, shout out to the Conquest for the donations, Christopher White for the donations. Much appreciated. Appreciate the chat for pulling up as always, man. Thank y'all for y'all support. It was one other thing I wanted to hold up for a second. We do have, let me see. We are 3 weeks from the February 22nd card. Okay. And that on paper is absolutely going to be out of this world. You know what I'm saying? They say, everybody's bragging about, this is what I want to talk about Benavidez. Okay. So, first of all, Benavidez was not going out here to pretty much prove that he was a knockout artist. I don't know who was thinking he was a knockout artist, but, fighters sometimes, say they're going to knock people out. Like Shakur said, I'm going to knock you out. Plenty of fighters have said, I'm going to knock you out. I'm going to knock you out. And I'm pretty sure in his heart of hearts, Benavidez has been on record saying he's going to knock a fighter out. And sometimes he gets the knockout. Sometimes he doesn't. You have to accredit Morrell for being tough. He's being tough. I don't think his stock fell at all. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to make it a point that it was a very entertaining fight where I believe both fighters, Morrell and Benavidez, respected each other just a little bit more than what they did initially. I don't think Benavidez respect for Morrell came just because he went to the distance. I think the respect is that he actually stood in there and absorbed that punishment. He still broke him down, but he absorbed the punishment. And also he was able to get the knockdown. So even though they may be pugilists, warriors of full contacts in a full contact sport, they can have all the despise, disdain for one another, contentiousness before the fight. But when you get into the heat of battle and your opponent is still standing there, it's going to be a level of digression. And they're going to be like, okay, I respect it. So-and-so tougher than I thought. I thought I was going to go in here and run amok over him. But this fight was crazy. I want you to look at the picture. I want you to look at this picture right here. This is what we was dealing with. Seriously. I mean, it was a photographer's dream to be in the Isak Cruz. Freaking Angel Ferrero. But look at this right here. Very good shots, man. Very good shots. Look at this picture of Morrell and Benavidez, yo. Look at that. Them boys was banging out, man. I mean, that is one of them in the heat of battle type steals that you get. That is called the Mike Sierra, the money shot, bro. That's what that is called. Very solid. Very, very solid. You know what I'm saying? It's plenty of these pictures this fight. If you look on Boxing News 24, they're trying to say Benavidez stock dropped because he was dropped and all that. If you all want to, not you all per se in the chat, if you all wants to basically sing that lullaby that when a fighter gets dropped, all I'm saying is just keep it consistent, because you don't say Virgil Ortiz stock dropped when he was dropped again in adversity. Some of these fighters continue to get dropped and y'all don't say nothing about it. But it's just when the fighter, like Boxing News 24, all they want to do is stir up biasness and controversy. So they hate on the fighters that they believe the general public, when it comes to the boxing fans, hate on. That's what they do. They write negative just to blend in with them. Bam Rodriguez gets dropped. Nobody talks about his career being on the outs, or he needs to retire, or he's overrated. Nobody. Even myself. He's been on the canvas and got back up and did the exact same thing Morrell did. Spazzed the hell out. It's fighters that get dropped, yo. But some of these fighters, man, depending on who they are, you know, they don't get dropped. They just get hurt. And it counts as if they got knocked out like Amir Khan. We need to change that up. You know, we just need to change that whole mentality, that mindset of the entire thing and what you said in a fight. You have to include them as being casuals. But the hard part about that is you hear people, individuals that talk boxing. It's not like they don't know about boxing, but they get on here and saying some dumb shit. And you say, what? Do you even know what the fuck are you talking about? Like, why are you saying that? I just, you know, you should, no expectations, no disappointment. Sometimes you expect those individuals that really know the sport to a point to give a better response, but then they turn around and they say some crazy shit. They'll talk about the whole, you know, they talk about as if the whole fight evolves around the fighter who dropped Benavidez, even though he lost the fight. And then that fighter Benavidez, he gets freaking discredited in the media because he's at 175, and they saying that Benavidez will knock him out. Bivol will knock him. He need another fight. This, that, and that. He is ready. He is ready. Because you all cannot sit up here and place the age stamp on all these other fighters. But just because Beterbiev is 40 years old and he hasn't showed the digression, he hasn't showed like he's breaking down, the engine's sputtering right now. He hasn't shown that. But he's still 40 years old. So he might go through this next fight with Bivol, and then whoever wins that fight, let's just say Beterbiev wins, and you get Benavidez. Benavidez might go in there and cause that man problems on the canvas before, just like Benavidez has been on the canvas. Benavidez style may be too much for Beterbiev because you can't compare Benavidez pressure of stalling out like Bivol did. Bivol had to take the last couple of rounds off when they fought. But Benavidez, god damn, his gear shift is something else, bro. That mug is running that goddamn high-tech gas. The shit you only run on the track. So I can't see why they shitting on him because he got knocked down and act like that's affecting a potential fight with him and the winner of Bivol Beterbiev, you know? I don't think they should have a rematch. But like I said, the experience and boxing IQ, Morrell came on too freaking late. And though he has some shining moments, that's not it. You came on too late. Face it. He came on too late in the game and he didn't get the job done. You have to face that fact. Look at this Stephen Fulton. They say he ain't a power puncher, but look at this. I can appreciate this as a guy who shot ringside before. Look at this shot right here. This is a gem. This is such a jewel that I will stamp on if it came from the lens of my camera. Look at this right here, y'all. This is what a photographer live for when you shooting ringside. Boy. Look at this shot right here. Look at this shot right here of Brandon Figueroa. I already showed you that with David Morrell. And look at this shot right here, y'all. Now that is a beautiful, when I tell you, God, dang, that's a jewel to have in your collection. Look at that. Look at that left. Look at that left of the man who wore Tim's in the ring. This man is not considered to be a power puncher. Look at that money shot, yo. That is what a photographer lives for. God damn, that's a beautiful shot. It shows the impact, how it resonates through the damn facial structure. Oh my God. That doesn't even look like Brandon Figueroa right there. I bet Stephen Fulton's gonna goddamn blow this shit up and put it on the ceiling of his house, bro. This is not even the guy who's considered to have over 10 knockouts or have the power of Tank, Tyson. You know what I'm saying? Tell me how this guy up against the ropes, Stephen Fulton, landed a shot that caused all that disfiguration, huh? How can you cause that much disfigurate? Man, his face is disfigured. Look at his lips. Did Fulton have some semen in his freaking hands? That is a beautiful shot, man. That's the look. That's the best one I've seen out there from this fight night so far. I haven't really went through all of them with Cruz and Fierro, right? Because this is the fight they saying that was booing, that was boring and they was booing. But obviously it was some action going on because Figueroa looks like he can try out for the next move with his eyes. For real. God damn. Or wrong turn, if y'all know what I mean. If y'all looked at the wrong turn. God damn, that's a good shot. Boy, I would have been on here bragging my ass off if I got that shot right there. I would have bragged my ass off. Look what I got for you, man. Fulton should put this up in the gym, man. This is his 2 division. This is his 2nd division. He should put this frame up in the gym for all the youngins that come in there and need some motivation. Say, man, I landed this shot off the mother effing ropes. Get at me, man. Beautiful. Beautiful. I know as a fellow photographer, you appreciate the art in that shot. Yo, man. Look at that. Especially when it, hey, John, especially when it's in boxing though. Because people impact just right. Because you have to have your hand on the shutter. You have to, first of all, you have to have the right shutter speed going on. You know, the lighting, everything. The ISO, all that. Just to be able to catch that shot and have it in your archives, like when you get home and you start to check off and go through all the photos, man, that shit right there is absolutely incredible, man. Fulton has 8 knockouts right now, but when you look it looked like he has the same amount Bud has, man. It looked like he goddamn give Tyson a run for his money, bro. If they didn't see the fig on the back of his trunks, if somebody saw that picture and it didn't have the fig up there, they'd say, who is that right there? Hey, Steven, who is that right there? Oh, that's Figueroa. Oh, hell no, they don't look like him. I know because my glove was on the other side of his face. Damn, dog. That shit was on point. You know what? That shot right there, it's close competition, bro, with Spence. It's close competition. Spence has some wicked. Spence has some wicked ones out there. But I'm just saying, like, he's not even a knockout artist, so to speak. He's still like lower 8 ounce. I'm like, look, he's on the ropes. Man, come on, bro. Beautiful shot. Beautiful shot, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Beautiful shot. But y'all hold it down, man. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MF game. Appreciate y'all for pulling up as always, man. Thanks for supporting the channel. Now we gotta wait, man. Hey, before I leave. Before I leave. They was up there talking about Keyshawn and Pitbull Cruz. I don't know how that's gonna happen here at 140, real talk. But I know people been throwing that out there or whatever. But to the upcoming fight cards, man, you know, Keyshawn is going for his first title. Can't wait to see that fight go down. Carissa is fighting tonight. Appreciate it, BG. Carissa is fighting tonight against Danielle Perkins. Make sure you check out Carissa Shield, who was absolutely stunting at the weigh-in. You know what I'm saying? Stunting. You know, but appreciate y'all pulling up. We should do it again another day, another time. I'm out.